A human smuggling attempt busted near the border. Just take a look. Border Patrol agents found illegal immigrants hidden under blankets in the back of a pickup truck's cab. The bust happened at the I-35 checkpoint in Laredo yesterday. The driver of that truck, a U.S. citizen, was arrested. Smuggling humans across the U.S. border happens almost daily, and the consequences can be deadly. Case in point, last year's bust at a local Walmart parking lot where officers found 10 people dead inside a hot trailer.
And what makes the tragedy worse is the loss of life is completely preventable. Eyewitness border reporter Oscar Margain explains a new program designed to stop human smuggling.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, we got 9 in this class. Awesome.
It's an information session to kick off a 5-week course for future truck drivers.
Operation Big Rig is an initiative that brings awareness.
For some, a wake-up call to an unsettling reality.
There's some things we want you guys to be aware of, and that's why we're here to do this presentation.
Border Patrol agent Joseph Corderoni leads this presentation at South Texas College in McAllen. He educates those training for a commercial driver's license about the probabilities of becoming a recruiting target for cartels.
A lot of times it's at the truck stops. You guys are taking a rest there. You're going to grab a bite to eat, use the restrooms, and that's when you're probably going to be approached.
An offer to smuggle immigrants in the trailer and move them past the checkpoint for easy money. A tempting proposition that could lead to this. Putting people's lives in danger and the possibility of going to jail.
It's not worth it to get going all your life to jail just for a couple of grand, or the money is not worth it.
It's a scary reality, says Alfredo Bazan, but a reality nonetheless.
If you don't lock it, make sure you open it up and do a visible inspection.
New York native Patrick Dennison is at the end of his 5-week course.
Hey, how about, a couple $1,000, just take 2 people.
Sure, no
what's
problem.
the big deal?
I got no problem. Go inside and call the authorities. Do not deal with them. Yeah.
And he now knows how to deal with a scenario like this.
They go through the training now with that in the back of their head.
For more than 600 truck drivers caught in Laredo alone since 2008, it's the end of the road. Apart from jail time, they've lost their CDLs for good.
Some of these students come up to me and say, thank you. Thank you for making me aware of what's out there.
In McAllen, near the Texas-Mexico border, I'm Oscar Margain reporting.